Welcome to Autism Tips and Tools, where we highlight the best practical guidance from previous episodes of Autism Knows No Borders. Whether you're a self-advocate, a family member, or a service provider, there's something here for you. I'm Rachel Harmon, a professional in the field of autism services, outreach, and advocacy, and the following clip is from my conversation with autistic self-advocate Tiffany Joseph. Tiffany Joseph is the digital creator behind the Instagram account Nigh Functioning Autism. She uses her platform to promote the changes she wants to see in the world regarding disability and intersectionality. The voice you'll hear in this clip comes mostly from Tiffany's alternative augmentative communication device, or AAC for short, and in instances when she wanted to add more to her response or answer a follow-up question, you'll hear her actual voice. Here's Tiffany discussing how to empower non-speaking autistic individuals and misconceptions about AAC and speech development.
I think too many parents and professionals try to use their own neurotypical perception to understand their autistic loved ones or clients. But many times, that simply won't work because of misinterpretations. What is good for us may seem counterintuitive to neurotypical or non-autistic people. I have found this whole subject of speech, language, and literacy is one of those things. The way we work seems to be the opposite when it comes to speech. Speech, at least from what I have seen in autistic people, is inconsistent. That's definitely true for me. And for many of us, it isn't autism that causes it, but one of our many co-occurring conditions. For me, it's epilepsy. Before or after seizures, I either cannot speak or cannot say exactly what I want because the words just don't trickle down to my mouth. I liken my speech to a factory. My stream of thoughts are on a conveyor belt, which is headed for my mouth. So many times, I go to say my thoughts, and there is nothing available on the conveyor belt for my mouth to say, like my factory workers took a break. Other times, I have the words available, but my mouth forgets how to say the particular word, or says a word that's not even there, or that I was not thinking at all. Sometimes, it's the medicines we take that cause word-finding issues. Sometimes it's anxiety, which causes situational mutism. Also, the reason can change daily or over time. Whatever it is at the moment, because it is not always reliable, there need to be other ways to communicate. The parent and professional communities seem to mostly focus on total speech regression in early childhood. However, many people lose speech altogether in early teens or early adulthood as well, especially if they have epilepsy or eventually get it. So, it makes sense to always have a well-practiced form of communication, or even a few, actually. But also, we need sensory-safe ways to communicate. Sometimes sensing emotions is also overwhelming. So in cases where a speaking autistic person may find themselves in a situation that's sad, exciting, angering, extremely joyful, etc., strong emotions, like any overwhelming sense interferes with my factory's ability, like maybe inclement weather might cause interruptions in a real factory. Being able to use other ways to communicate might still be available. Texting in a different room is another safe way to communicate without being overwhelmed by others' emotions or feelings. Pictures might be more accessible in cases where words are failing. Giving someone a way to draw a picture might also be helpful. Sign languages are great too, and always available like the mouth, because they are a part of the body. However, due to motor skills issues, they may have to be modified. There are unlimited ways to communicate, and there's no reason that speech has to be considered the best way. People say, I don't want that device to be a crutch. That makes no sense because crutches are helpful. They help people be mobile. Other forms of communication are not holding someone back. They are helping them participate in life, much like crutches do. Also, why is it a bad thing that someone may prefer a different form of communication? What if the student feels more comfortable and able to communicate more with a device even if they speak? Why is that such a horrible thing? Maybe that person has found what I did, that I deserve to still have a voice even when it's not working, that I don't have to exhaust myself day in and day out trying to overcome all the sensory issues that mess with my speech, or that my silent seizures, that for a long time I wasn't even aware of, were causing me trouble communicating. That doesn't have to mean that my words are not important simply because I cannot say them. That I still have a right to be heard, and it's not some moral failure or character flaw to have trouble communicating by speech just because I can do it sometimes.
And I want to add that a lot of people erroneously think that AAC, I already alluded to it, but AAC is bad for speech development when it's actually, as I said before, if I had AAC earlier, I would have been able to speak earlier. So AAC helps speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So how can teachers and parents empower their non-speaking students to communicate?
I wouldn't say there is much empowering needed because humans in general need and want to communicate. Motivation is internal. What educators need to do is provide the individualized motor skills so that everyone can learn to communicate early, starting from the moment a child is identified as having a speech difference. They need to realize that everyone can be literate and deserves to. Everyone, with the proper techniques, can thus communicate. Communication and literacy are human rights.
Thanks for tuning in to Autism Knows No Borders. Would you like to hear Tiffany discussing what communication apps are most useful depending on each situation? Follow the link in the show notes for the full conversation. And be sure to subscribe for more stories from people connected to autism, inspiring change, and building community. Let's work together to transform how the world relates to autism. Thanks for listening. Take care.